TWM podcast.
You know when you go on a road trip, right? And it's just, someone's forgotten something, so you've got to go back to the yard to pick it up. Or like someone forgot to go to the loo, so within the first 15 minutes, someone's like, can we have a toilet break? That is where we are on the road to WrestleMania. Everybody, welcome to TWM. Welcome to TWM Wrestling's Raw Talk. This is, a podcast about, it's in the name, it's about, we talk about Raw. No, it's a bit self-explanatory, I think. My name is Joseph. I'm your host of Raw Talk. I'm always your host of Raw Talk. I'm always here on a Tuesday to talk about 3 hours of, this week was absolutely stellar wrestling. You can follow us at TWM Wrestle on every social media platform. We have audio going out most days of the week. We have written content going out every day of the week. Please go and check it out. There's some really, really great articles and content that we've got coming up for you guys. This podcast is sponsored by, not used to this, it's brought to you by We Love Sport, the fantastic app finding you your nearest sports bar showing the latest WWE pay-per-views. We Love Sport have 400 of the best sports bars and pubs in the UK at your fingertips and allows you to book front row seats so you don't miss a thing. Download the We Love Sport app on the App Store or Google Play Store. Follow We Love Sport at social media platforms at We Love Sport UK and check out welovesport.co, which when I read that I thought it was missing the rest of the website, but no, it's just welovesport.co. It works, I promise. There are two bits more of business that I need to cover here. My usual shadow, Thomas, he is doing what an expat who lives in a morally bankrupt Middle Eastern state does with his spare time. So he's not joined me this week, but we do have someone new and we do have somebody arguably better. I am joined by the wonderful Victoria. How are you, Victoria?
Hey, I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry about that intro. It's a lot, isn't it?
It was, yeah. There was a lot to cover. You got there. You got there.
I know. Like, I'm very surprised. I've more or less read that out verbatim. But you know what? Yeah, I've covered everything. There is another thing to do. One last bit of housekeeping. You should go and check out WrestleCrate. Use the code TWM Wrestling for a free autographed item when you sign up for a monthly box from WrestleCrate. Use the code TWM Wrestling at WrestleCrate.co.uk. Now that's a full website, isn't it, Victoria?
It is. It is. No, there we go. No. Nothing feels missed. It's there.
Yeah, exactly. Firstly, how are you today? How was your Tuesday?
It was good. It was good and cold, but it was good. Yeah. What about you?
It was a lot. I can't lie to you. It was definitely a lot. But you know what? We're here to talk about this thing that we love, and I think we should jump into it. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I'm not quite sure what. He thought he knew him. He really thought he knew him. But to be honest, it's a recipe for disaster when you've got a tag team where one guy is called the Ultimate Opportunist and the other guy is literally a snake. It's just this was destined to happen, wasn't it, Victoria?
It was. The signs were all there. It was just there.
It's just, I guess we're like a bit shocked that it happened this quickly.
I guess so.
I mean, I don't know. Like, if you look at how long it took for Randy Orton to turn on the Wyatt family.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. He definitely feels more for Edge than he ever felt about the Wyatt family.
Yeah, definitely. He's not the most patient.
Yeah, exactly. But we are, of course, talking about the fact that, and it's fully sunk in for both of us, Edge is back. Edge is back. Like, you want to know when I stopped watching wrestling on a regular basis? When Edge left.
Yeah.
That's when I lapsed. And now I never thought I'd be doing it. I'm hosting a wrestling podcast and saying Edge is back. It's crazy. Where were you and what was your reaction when you saw him come out of the Rumble, Victoria?
I was in bed, falling asleep. It was really late. I was really tired. And then that music hit, and I sat straight back up, and the energy, you could feel it. Watching it from the screen, being at home watching, you could feel the energy from the arena and at home, and it was so special. I had goosebumps.
I too had goosebumps, but that's because we were playing a Royal Rumble drinking game, and I think Dan made us all take a shot because you correctly predicted MVP and Edge to come back.
Oh wow!
Yeah, we'll talk more about that drinking game later. It was a mess.
Yeah, I want to hear about that.
Absolute mess. Right, so there's another thing that I want to talk about here. Because firstly, what a promo from Sexton Hardcastle. What a promo. He hit everything he wanted to. Incredible promo. But there's a line in there which I find interesting, which I want to ask you, because full disclosure, audience of Raw Talk from TWM Wrestling, me and Victoria have never met before, much less properly spoken before today. So I think this is a really good question to get to know who you are as a wrestling fan. Edge called himself both an athlete and an artist and said that all wrestlers are both. So where are you on the sliding scale of wrestling as a sport versus wrestling as a medium of art?
It's what's so amazing. These are people who are so incredibly talented, both as athletes, in the sense of being artists. There's nothing you can take away from the fact that every time someone steps in that ring, there has to be this level of athleticism and strength. That can't be taken away, no matter how much hate or backlash this sport gets. Not the average person can't step into a ring and do what these people do. And so he's right in that sense that they are athletes and they are performers. When they go out there, the lights are on, the camera. This is a performance. This is entertainment. And yeah, he's completely right. Everyone who steps in that ring is an athlete. And it's just
100%. I 100% agree, and I believe that wrestling is art, but again, it's art using the physicality, the peak of using the physicality and the peak of what humans can do. So that to me is incredible. It's something I just picked up on, and yeah, I'm really glad to have you on the team, Victoria. I wasn't marking your answer, but in my head, I'm like,
there was some kind of marking system.
Sorry, I used to be a teacher. Right, and the other thing that he said, which puts my mind at ease, because my big thing was, how safe is this? When I saw him, was that confirmed that he had a second surgery. So I feel way better about everything now. Every time there was any kind of movement, I was so tense. I was so nervous. I was like, oh no, is that okay? Is he safe? Is everything going to plan here? So I think it's going to be a while before that kind of mindset fades away. It was the same when Daniel Bryan came back. Every time he'd done something, I was watching and I was just... But Daniel Bryan has no regard for his safety whatsoever.
None at all.
But speaking of no regard for his safety, out comes Randy Orton, and like we've said, this was inevitable, but Randy came out and cut the most heartfelt promo, and you can believe it, because Randy Orton was a dick. And around the time Randy Orton was a dick, Edge was a vet. And Edge used to be a dick. So you could see Randy Orton kind of big brothering. You could see Edge kind of big brothering Randy Orton, and that was beautiful.
Oh yeah.
And then speaking of no regard for his own safety, what happened. Victoria, tell the world what happened. From your perspective. Because I know what.
Well, Randy Orton decided to to be a dick again.
Yeah.
I definitely saw it coming, but it was done so well. You could feel the emotion from both guys, what they were saying, both their promos, and then what happened, even as Randy was doing what he was doing, and it looked like trying to quite literally kill Edge. But yeah, you could even see the emotion from him then, even, and that was what made that so special. Gave us one of the best endings of Raw in quite a while.
Yeah. I think it's the best ending of Raw since, funnily enough, since it's pretty similar actually in its execution. Since Dean turned on Seth.
Oh, yeah.
So, the same day as the leukemia announcement. Yeah, I think that's the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Honestly. Because I didn't watch that wedding episode and I refuse to. I had the week off that week and I'm super glad.
Oh, that was a good week. Oh. Yeah, that was a good week to take off.
Thank you. But yeah, it's like you could see how much it was hurting Randy Orton to do what he did, and the concerto was such a nice touch.
Yeah,
it's just like, I mean, and it does give me hope, because if we've got Edge back, maybe we can get Christian back.
Oh, yeah. I mean, let's slow down and go one thing at a time. But
I think we should move on from here before I get really, really hopeful. I love Christian, man. He's great.
Yeah, he is.
He doesn't get enough props, man. That guy's in the Hall of Fame in his own right. But let's move on again. I'm definitely putting the cart before the horse here. Speaking of thoroughbred horses, she is not throwing away her shot. That was ruder than it came out. I just meant that, Charlotte is constantly saying she's genetically superior. Speaking of Charlotte, she won the Royal Rumble. How did you feel about that, Victoria?
I was not happy. I was really frustrated. I wasn't happy. That, for me, that's when my mood kind of changed. I mean, I was expecting it. I'll be really surprised. But I did have Shayna Baszler for win.
Same.
I think they missed out on something really good. It was set up, and they missed out.
And so Charlotte says she's facing someone and doesn't say who, because that she's cagey, like a Flair.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but who do you reckon she goes for?
I don't want to really personalize either. I think you could probably get the best match from Charlotte and Bayley. I don't think they've been able to show just how good they can together. I think we've exhausted everything that we can get from Becky and Charlotte, and I just don't know where we go storyline wise. Yeah. What can they bring that's different? Yeah. But at this point, I don't know. I'm not sold on either. Neither one of those. When we look at the card, I don't see either one pulling me and making me excited. So I don't know. And I think the SmackDown women's scene really needs something big. It needs something bigger than what we're getting at the moment. And that's probably the best bet.
You want to know what I think? I think that SmackDown is definitely the more likely. It's more likely than Becky, for sure. Charlotte does have unfinished business with Bayley, I suppose.
Yeah.
But there are 3 brands now.
That is true, yeah.
And Rhea Ripley has gotten the better of Charlotte at every turn.
Yeah, and I've seen a few people comment on Charlotte possibly putting her eyes on the NXT Women's Champion, because someone like that could be really special, career changing for Ripley, and different. It's really different.
Yeah, I think that the story they're telling on SmackDown is definitely Sasha Bayley.
Yeah, definitely.
who's healed and who's face we don't know, but one is turning on the other. We're getting a female festival of friendship level of stuff here.
Yeah.
And I think the obvious story to tell is, sorry, Smack Talk people, we're invading your turf, is Sasha screaming at Bailey, I gave up my spot in the Rumble for you. Whether that's as a good guy or a bad guy, I don't know. But
yeah.
But anyway, back to this promo, which was fine. It's a Charlotte promo. You know what she's going to do. She's going to scream about being genetically superior. She's going to scream about being the queen. She's going to put emphasis in the wrong syllables of all of her words. But Asuka interrupts her.
She wouldn't have, but
yeah, I'm not sure about that one, Chief. Sorry, Empress. Like,
yeah, that's better.
Not sure about that one, Empress. Not sure about that one. But a match ensues, because why not? I'm never going to turn down watching Charlotte and Asuka wrestle. They're incredible.
Yeah, and their match this week, it was great. It was a good one. Another.
Yeah, and it was great right down to Kairi Sane stomping around like a child on the outside.
Yeah.
I've gone on record as saying of how much I love heel Kairi Sane and how surprised I am I love heel Kairi Sane this much. But
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's just but I love heel Kairi Sane. It's just there's not really I'm not a big moose guy, so I don't really talk about wrestling matches right down to spot by spot, but watching Charlotte and Asuka do it, it's just always a wonder. And I think that it ended the only way it could end between these two.
Yeah, definitely.
With Kairi Sane interrupting in the least subtle way ever.
Yeah, she's there was nothing subtle about that at all. Could it really have ended any other way?
Nah. And of course they brawl, which opens up a fourth possibility. Imagine Charlotte uses her title shot, gets a tag team partner and uses her title shot on them.
Yeah, I mean that would at least be different.
Oh my goodness, it could be Charlotte and Nicholas.
Oh, you've said it now. Now I feel like it's not that far-fetched.
I mean, if Santina can enter the Women's Royal Rumble, let's put it on an 9-year-old, 10-year-old. That was 2 years ago. Where has the time gone?
And I think we've established anything can happen this year already. We've established that, so who knows?
But Kairi Sane is fuck subtle cheating, elbow drop from the top rope. There's a brawl. They stand off, but meanwhile, because there's nowhere else really to put this bullet point, may as well talk about it now. Becky Lynch has a jacket with goat on the back that she must have stolen from Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, I was watching it and I was like, oh okay.
It's just
nice.
That's that's definitely something. Right. Speaking of shots, he may well have thrown away his shots. Because Drew McIntyre has told everybody exactly who he wants to wrestle at WrestleMania, and I'm not sure it's the greatest decision.
Yeah.
To be fair though, WWE have done a great job. On the one hand, you've got an absolutely terrifying monster who seems like he's crawled out from another world, and on the other hand, you have the Fiend. So I'm not sure who I'd want to wrestle.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't really looking good for him, was it?
Neither choice is great, is it? But we do live in a world where Edge came back from retirement. I'm on a wrestling podcast, and the weirdest thing that happened on Sunday night was Monday morning, I guess, was the fact that Drew McIntyre won the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I don't think I've been that happy in a long time.
TWM podcasts have joined forces with WrestleCrate, the original and best monthly-themed monthly wrestling subscription service to bring you a fantastic deal. Now, if you use the code TWM Wrestling when you sign up to a monthly subscription at WrestleCrate.co.uk, you will receive a free autographed item inside your first crate. Now, WrestleCrate brings you the best swag from the biggest companies and names in the wrestling world. We're talking t-shirts, photos, pins, DVDs, vinyl figures, and loads more from WWE, Progress, Shakara, NXT, Fight Club Pro, and loads more. That's WrestleCrate.co.uk and use the code TWM Wrestling for a free autographed item, all thanks to WrestleCrate and TWM.
TWM podcasts are brought to you by We Love Sport, the fantastic app finding you your nearest sports bar showing the latest WWE pay-per-views. We Love Sport has over 400 of the best sports bars and pubs in the UK at your fingertips and allows you to book front row seats, giving you the best views of the action. You can also check out what sports are being shown over the next 7 days, making sure you don't miss a second of the action. Download the We Love Sport app on the App Store or Google Play Store. Follow We Love Sport on all social media platforms at We Love Sport UK and check out welovesport.co.
They've done an alright job with it, you know. Like, I want all of the success in the world for Drew McIntyre, but like when he lost to Roman Reigns, I was like, Roman Reigns last WrestleMania, I was like, well, they fucked it, haven't they?
Yeah.
And then I am never going to take this guy seriously again. They've absolutely fucked it. I've said some very, very rude things that I'm not going to repeat because I'm a host now. I usually just said rude things to like annoy Matty, but I'm a real adult now, so I wouldn't say anything. Oh yeah, there's a sense of professionalism now. Exactly, especially because you don't really know me. I'm going to wait until like let it breathe. And then I'll reveal what a terrible person I am. But okay. Yeah, that's it. That's what it is. But yeah, Drew McIntyre comes out, says he feels like he should be dreaming, not just you, mate. And he just also shout out to Daniel McIver, who's a part of the team that I'm not sure how familiar you are, Victoria, but he knows Drew McIntyre and he has been like walking on air since Sunday night. It's incredible. But yeah, he just straight up challenges Brock for the title, which will end well. Yeah. I'm sure nothing. I'm hoping for the best. I mean, he really does deserve this. He really does, and yeah, I'm really happy. Yeah. Like, I am happy for him, but like, I'm sure in storyline, I'm sure nothing bad will ever happen to Drew McIntyre because of this decision. He will go through no pain whatsoever. Let's move on to the next bullet point. Drew McIntyre issues an open challenge, which is answered by the Good Brothers. I refuse to call them the OC without AJ Styles. Speaking of that, what do you do with the Good Brothers now AJ Styles is injured? Yeah, see, this isn't good for them. It wasn't a great start yesterday. I just don't really know where they go from here to turn it around and gain momentum. They're not in the best of situations, and the tag team division of Raw is quite messy at the moment. We've got the Street Profit living backstage. Yeah. And great singles stars pairing up together, so it puts them in a real tricky situation. Yep. Yeah, it's not going to be a good couple of months for them. No, but you know what? They'll just sit at home and collect their paycheck, and Carl Anderson will probably knock up his hot Asian wife again. Right, yeah, and remind us too. Oh, yeah, and remind us. That's why it came to mind immediately, because he keeps reminding us. Right, in the aftermath of this utter squash, because that's what it was, the Good Brothers. Yeah. Oh, Carl Anderson saying, "I'm not scared of you," just getting twatted in the face is just. You should be, mate. You should be. But
He's learned his lesson.
in the aftermath of this, Brock Lesnar sneaks up behind Drew McIntyre, kicks him in the dick, F5s him, and you know that thing about I'm sure that nothing bad will happen to Drew McIntyre? It didn't take long, did it?
No. Oh, that was something. He won't be forgetting that for a while.
Oh, well, it's a good thing that we got 3 months till Mania for them to build something from this. Ooh, I wonder what the next turn's gonna be.
And if he wanted to kick someone in the dick, shouldn't it have been Ricochet?
To be fair, Ricochet tagged him back in the Rumble, didn't he?
I don't know.
No, he did. That's how Brock got into the position. Which
he did. So it should have been.
So
Ricochet was somewhere backstage hiding.
Yeah, basically. I'm not scared if Brock Lesnar gets kicked in the dick. Sees him in the Rumble, kicked him in the dick. They're 1-on-1. They're 1-on-1. So Drew's got honestly, I'm just really, really enjoying the fact that whenever Brock Lesnar holds a belt, people keep kicking him in the dick.
Yeah. He should expect this now.
It's true.
He should come protected.
We should wear a cup like Roppongi 3K did at Wrestle Kingdom. Great storytelling. Let's move on to the rest of Raw. The other news of Raw. And let's start off with a positive. I'm going to do something that I don't do very often. I'm going to say something nice about Humberto Carrillo.
Oh.
Yeah.
What did he ever do to you?
What did he ever do to me? He's boring. That's what he's done to me.
Yeah.
He's boring. And he offends me. If I have to watch this, don't be boring. He's like Kalisto is a better promo than this man.
Oh.
Am I lying? Were you not entertained by good lucha things at least?
Oh yeah, that's still. No matter what mood I'm in, if I watch that, I'm laughing. Exactly. It doesn't matter.
Exactly, but this is the thing. Kalisto's also cut very adequate promos. Before and since. And I'm not sure you can say that about Humberto, but I'm saying bad things about Humberto. Let me say a good thing that he did yesterday. And
good thing.
I'll read exactly what I said, and then we'll talk about what we have to talk about afterwards. Humberto did something so cool that it's going to write Andrade off TV for approximately the same length of time as a wellness policy violation.
Ooh.
And I can say that because it's been confirmed.
It has, yeah.
I wrote this script before it was confirmed. Thank God it's been confirmed. But yeah, this match was really, really good. Yeah,
it was the same with their kickoff show match at Royal Rumble. It was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just not much character, and
Humberto.
You're right. I mean, Humberto isn't someone that I'm really excited to watch, and yeah. I think the only thing that Humberto can do is just beat jobbers, but finish them off with the Hammerlock DDT until Andrade comes back. Also, why didn't he do anything to Zelina? Zelina cost him the match. I know this is WWE where there's a force field around women and you can't touch them. But at least just be angry.
Yeah, just yell and scream in her face. Don't do that. Next thing, Messiah and Disciple beat Kevin Owens in a handicap match for the tag belt after Samoa Joe Ralph Wigham'd himself.
Yeah, this was one of my favorite matches of the night. I really liked this. But yeah, that was.
He definitely Ralph Wigham'd himself, didn't he? It's like, that was a lot. It was a lot. I really enjoyed the segment before. It dragged a bit, I think, but I enjoyed the basic concept of it.
Yeah.
Seth seemed too ready for a fight,
Yeah.
Seth seemed too ready for a fight, so they expressed skepticism. Then he showed AOP on video, and then there was a bit of genre savviness. Oh, it's not like there are cameras around everywhere that you could record and just throw this up. It's true. Why does everyone in WWE have like a minor in video editing? I don't know. Every single I guess it goes back to wrestlers are both athletes and artists, and also
oh yeah. Yep.
And yeah, they were like, so if the AOP are really in your dressing room, you won't mind if we do this, and the Viking Raiders jump them.
Yeah, I liked that. I like that whole little section of the show. Kevin Owens is just so naturally funny. Yeah. His delivery is just perfect. And
you know what I miss? I miss Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I feel like the other person in the story should be Sami Zayn. I love Samoa Joe, and it makes perfect sense for it to be Samoa Joe, but this story would be exponentially like, I'd be speaking. I'd just be here for face Kevin and Sami. It'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Yeah. This next bullet point is all I really want to say. I'm just going to let you know. When we first started doing this podcast, I campaigned for it to be renamed The Cut Chronicles.
Right.
Because when we first started doing this podcast, that was the beginning. The very first Raw Talk was the beginning of exactly what you're thinking of. It was okay. Yeah, it was Rusev's return. That was the first Raw. So fortunately, the Cut Chronicles only has one line bullet point, and that is this: I love Liv Morgan's new finisher. Her springboard flatliner is amazing.
Oh yeah. She looks amazing last.
Yeah, I was going to say most of Twitter would cut my statement off at I love Liv Morgan, and that's fine. But yeah. You know, no overt thirst on the podcast. That's a rule I set myself. You can be as thirsty as you want, Victoria.
Oh, okay. That's okay. I'll remember that.
I'll welcome it. I'll make fun of you for it, but I'll welcome it.
Okay, noted.
Right. No, the next thing. Mojo Rawley now has a defensive lineman, despite being a defensive lineman himself.
Yeah. This is. I don't know how I feel about this.
I'm happy for Riddick Moss. I'm unhappy for Tino Sabatelli.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, you forgot that name, huh?
Because those two did work so well together, and there was so much potential. Yeah.
Tino Sabatelli was definitely the funny one out of the two, and Riddick Moss has just been
definitely
floating. And I think he had a wellness violation too. At some point, I don't know. Like, I'm not going to speculate. He might be confusing some people. Who knows? There's a lot of guys in NXT. But essentially, Mojo Rawley squashes another guy who could be the GOAT, but it's clearly not going to push him like that. No way, Jose. R-Truth pins him because he was in conga line, and then he just gets pinned again because R-Truth has this thing where he doesn't run away from danger.
He kind of welcomes it.
Oh, jeez. No, it really bothered me when he found out that it wasn't Paul Heyman in the Rumble, it was Brock Lesnar. And then he withdrew. And then he just stood there and danced in the ring for 2 minutes. And I'm like, run. Right, and the last thing that we've got to note is that there were squashes 4 in order: Rey Mysterio, Aleister Black, and Eric Rowan. All 3 of them beat relative nobodies.
Oh, yeah, I picked that. Poor MVP.
I'm really glad you picked up on that. Yeah, MVP made his first appearance on Raw in forever. Do you think they'll keep him around, though?
No, I don't. There's not really.
Yeah.
Would be that mean and say the need for him, but no. He's just not. There's a lot going on already, okay, and I don't. He will be in this same situation every single week, or he'll have a couple of weeks where it doesn't happen. But no.
Yeah, next week he should take on Eric Rowan, and the week after he should take on Aleister Black. To be honest, speaking of, Aleister Black has decided that he's not going to be passive anymore. He's going to be active. Yeah.
He's kind of just gone, fuck it. Like,
I'm
coming for you now.
Yeah. Or to quote Booker T, he's coming for the gold, sucker. Aleister fucking Black is coming for you. Now we are at that point in the podcast where we do, basically, it doesn't matter who I'm doing the podcast with. I open up the floor to them. They can talk about anything you want. I'm explaining this to Victoria because this is the first time she's doing it. And I call this section Any Other Business. So, Victoria, do you have any other business?
I have really, really enjoyed AEW and NXT. AEW is just, at the moment, it's the one show every week I'm genuinely excited. Mainly because it's probably the most unpredictable. I'm finding it the most predictable anyway.
You're right. It definitely is way more unpredictable than NXT.
I think what brings me back to NXT is, at the moment, the women's division is incredible.
It's the best, and it's the best of the three brands, which is why I think it'd be
without a doubt.
Yeah. But
and I'm also surprised that Shotzi Blackheart, she's getting a lot of exposure at the moment. She eliminated Shayna Baszler in the NXT Women's Battle Royal, and then she had that one-on-one, which was actually pretty good. And then she was in the Royal Rumble, which that was the biggest prize for me. I wasn't expecting that. So yeah, she's one to watch, and AEW as well is, for me, it's what I'm excited for the most.
The thing with Shotzi Blackheart is, and the thing with Triple H in general is, he will realize when he has a good thing and go for it. Yeah. Because Shotzi Blackheart was on that Evolve show that they ran against AEW's first pay-per-view, and she's the one
she was
on that show that went viral with that clip of that absolutely crazy dive. So
she's really talented.
She is really talented, and she's half Filipino as well, so that's an entire market that they can tap into. So they've seen what they've done. They've seen what they've got there. They've signed her immediately. They've put her straight on TV. They've made her prominent. I just have one problem with Shotzi Blackheart,
which is
nobody who is actually Devil May Care calls themselves Devil May Care. And that's it.
She makes me really want green hair. She really does.
You know what? Follow your dreams.
Yeah, maybe not that one.
All right, fine. Fair enough. My Any Other Business is really simple. You see, they say that most Mania Week shows are created equal, but if you look at Impact doing a throwback TNA pay-per-view and everything else, you'll know that simply isn't true. And do you know why I say that like that? Because they have just confirmed Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner is gonna be on the TNA show. I'm so happy. Oh, just if there was a way to get Samoa Joe there, it's just, but it's not. Just joy, just pure joy. Oh, I mean, like maybe Booker could take a booking there. I don't know, like, and he could do that thing where he was commentating on himself beating up. Right, but yeah, this is it. This is the end of Raw Talk this week. Victoria, it's been a true pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, anytime, Victoria, anytime. Thomas said that you were just alone, but to be honest, I'd be happy to have you every week. Phrasing. Can you give out your social media profiles, please, if you will?
Okay, you can find me on Twitter at Tezangi Victoria, on Twitter at Tezangi Victoria, and the same for Instagram.
And the same for Insta, right? I heard you. Kind of. You didn't go off. I don't have a Twitter account to give out, and I generally don't. So, yeah, I guess I should give out edges, really, shouldn't I? Actually, you know what? I always do this. There's a guy who's dearly departed from GWM. Not like that. He's not died or anything. He's just not with us anymore. At Bannister 007, because I'd like to give props to him for doing the absolutely we did a Rumble drinking game, right? But he did a game where you draw a random number and you get a tattoo of that number.
Oh no, I wouldn't want to be involved in.
But he, props to him. He got 2 wrestlers that he's completely happy with doing that to. So props to Josh Bannister at Bannister 007. That's double N. Go follow that guy. He's actually a really nice guy, and yeah. I hope he's doing all right. Everybody, this has been Raw Talk. Catch you next week. Who knows what the lineup will be? I might not be here.